guys, it's Amanda from AmandaReads, and today I am coming to you with my May wrap-up and June TBR. As you can see, I'm a little bit sunburned, so yeah. I'm sorry I'm glowing in this video. The month of May was super busy for me, and I felt like I had no time to read. However, I did manage to finish 6 books and get more than halfway through a 7th. I will try and finish that today, which is actually the last day of May, so I guess I'll just call it 7 books. I got through all of the books on my TBR except Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I read the first chapter of that, but then decided I wasn't quite ready to end my rereading of the series, but I do plan on doing that this month, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. The first book I finished in May was Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I truly enjoyed it. As I've said in previous videos, it is one of my favorite children's movies, and there were so many similarities as I was reading the book. It was nice to see that they kept to the true storyline. They did add a few characters into the movie version, but I was really not disappointed with the book. It still conveyed that creepiness, and the settings were so well described. And I just kept picturing the movie in my head as the scenes aligned themselves. So I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Behind the Bookcase by Mark Steensland, and I said in my previous TBR video that I wanted to read Coraline and Behind the Bookcase back to back because they seemed that they may have a similar storyline. Really the only similarities between Coraline and Behind the Bookcase were that a young girl goes into a secret room in a house. That was really the only similarities. They weren't similar. I gave Behind the Bookcase 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the storyline. I thought it was super creative, and I loved all the characters that were included. However, I really would have enjoyed more character building and world building. This could be a phenomenal children's series. And as it is, this is actually a standalone novel. I feel like the characters weren't really well developed or described. You didn't really get a visual in your head of each character. The worlds were described, but it was hastily done, and I felt as if a little more description would have been nice. I understand not wanting to make the book too long because it is meant for younger readers, but as I said before, I think that a series would be awesome with this concept. There was a lot of stuff happening. It was a quick-paced plot, and I definitely recommend it. It's a really cool fantasy-esque story. Next, I listened to the audiobook Yes Please by Amy Poehler, and I gave that book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely enjoyed all of Amy's stories and all of her reminiscing. It was nice because she grew up in Burlington, Massachusetts, which is about a half an hour from where I grew up, so when she was talking about some things, I was kind of laughing to myself because I understood what she was talking about. This audiobook actually made me laugh out loud, and I don't think that would have happened if I was just reading the physical book. So I'm really glad I chose to listen to the audiobook. I loved that she read it. It just made it so much better. She put all the emphasis on it. Yeah, it was definitely nice, and all the guest readers that she had were a really cool addition. After I read the physical book Behind the Bookcase, I picked up Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Now, I was extremely hesitant to pick up this book. If you've been watching my videos, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the Mortal Instruments because I feel like they just throw you into this world and you know nothing about it and you're just kind of expected to catch on. But Clockwork Angel was not like that at all. I surprised myself. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, which is something that I never dreamed I would have done with a book by Cassandra Clare. Not that I don't like her writing, just that I feel like I'm trying to figure things out that she could explain to me. The way you are recommended to read The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices on Cassandra Clare's website is that she says to read the first 3 books in The Mortal Instruments because it was originally a trilogy, then read the Infernal Devices trilogy, which is a prequel, and then finish with the last 3 books in the Mortal Instruments. I would honestly recommend starting with the Infernal Devices just because it gives you so much background knowledge and really introduces the world to you so well. And right now I am on the 2nd book of the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I'm not seeing anything that would spoil you, so I definitely would recommend starting with Clockwork Angel. And it's just a much better writing style that she went with this time. I was addicted to Clockwork Angel. I finished it so quickly and I really loved it, and I was really pleasantly surprised. Next, I finished Unforgotten by Toby Riddle, and this was in my previous book haul. It is actually a poem illustrated. So at the back of the book, there's the poem in its entirety, and the poem is dispersed throughout the book with accompanying graphics. I was expecting a lot, so I was kind of disappointed, and I ended up only giving this 3 out of 5 stars. Next, I finished Americanborn Chinese. This is by Jean Luan Yang, and I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. It's a graphic novel, and it has to do with the stereotypes that kids face when they come from different backgrounds. Now, I come from a not so diverse small town, so I didn't really experience a lot of the diversity, and I was not a part of the minority, so I didn't really know what it was like to be the outsider because of your ethnicity. I liked the overarching message in this book, and it was a good message, but some of the stereotypes were really in your face. I know it's written for younger kids, so maybe it's in your face to kind of grab their attention, but I did enjoy the different storylines, and then at the end they all come together and you see why they connect. So I do recommend the book. Wasn't necessarily my type of book, but I am glad I read it. Next, I finished the audiobook Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. I started this after listening to Amy Poehler's because I feel like the two just naturally go together. I'm giving this 3.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't find it as entertaining as Amy's. It was more serious, but again, I really enjoyed the stories, and I was so happy that Tina Fey read her book. So 3.5 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend checking it out. Finally, I completed Revenge from the Ghost Whisperer series by Durana Durgan. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. As I've stated before in previous videos, I am obsessed with the show Ghost Whisperer, and this book read just like the TV show plays out. One of the best parts of the show is seeing what she's gonna wear each day. And I love that Durana Durgan is obviously such a fan of the show because she takes the time to describe what Melinda is wearing each day in the story. And I was looking at some of the reviews, and the people that gave it low ratings were super annoyed. They're like, why do I care what she's wearing today? I don't care. The author's taking too much time. But if you're actually a really big fan of the show, you know how big of a deal it is. So I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason I didn't give it 5 out of 5 stars is because I saw the ending coming. Now I'm in the process of reading Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, the 2nd book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I am really enjoying this book so far. I am a little over 300 pages. There's about 500 in the book, so I am more than halfway through. Now I'm just going to give you a quick idea of what I'm planning to read for the month of June. Keeping in mind that June is a really busy month because it's my last month of work, and I've just picked up another job that I'm starting. So I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have to read, but I really want to at least read 6 books, so this is my TBR. First, I want to finish reading Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. I also want to finish the Harry Potter series and read Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I feel like I'm ready to tackle this and finish a series. I would also like to finish the Infernal Devices trilogy, so reading Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, and I'm super excited, and then I can go back into the Mortal Instruments series. I also would like to read Paper Towns by John Green. I have not yet read this book, and the movie is coming out. I've read a lot of other John Green books. I'm not sure if I've read all of them, but I've read a good number of them, so maybe I have read all of them. This is the only one I haven't read yet. I also want to have my first Colleen Hoover experience, so I'm going to read Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. And finally, for a short little read in between some of these bigger books when I'm feeling a little burdened by reading, I'm going to pick up The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline B. Cooney and start off this series. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a great reading month in May, and if you didn't, pick it up for June. Please comment below, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs down if you didn't, subscribe if you want to, send me an email if you're bored. But thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys!